Hello everyone and welcome back to another stream. So it's been a while since I've done any streams and that's why I've decided to do today's stream here. And if you've already read the title, today we're going to be destroying some electronic components by cutting them in half to see if there's anything special inside them. I have here this really old chip and I've also got a few transistors here. And what we are going to do with them is basically we're just going to cut them in half with, well, pliers or side cutters. I'm not sure how these are called exactly. Got a bunch of different parts here. Maybe we'll even try a CFL here. It's really, really large compared to all the little chips. Look at how big it is here. So currently we've got no views. There's another transistor because we haven't destroyed anything. At least I hope we're going to get some views because it's not really easy nowadays. Oftentimes all the streams are just Roblox and Minecraft with random Italian brain rot music. Got some capacitors here and resistors, so let's start. So I had to take a little break, but we are back and we've already got 2 viewers, so we're starting out great. What should we begin with? I've already added this little resistor here. Should we begin with this resistor? If any of you can comment, please say what you want me to destroy because I will certainly destroy it. So let's get this resistor out of the way. I'm actually gonna do the chip first. These are very tough, so they're not very easy to destroy, but whatever. We're already starting out pretty rough, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it just snapped. Okay. I expected it to explode and fly everywhere, but the chip looks like it snapped and left a few particles down on the ground. It just snapped. And since YouTube's live streaming app doesn't really work very well, at least I can zoom in to show you what's the chip's insides. Well, actually we have this little thing here. I'm not sure this is an actual die, but this doesn't look like a die. Let me see if I can use the side cutters to give it a little nudge and have a look at it. Okay. Come on, focus please. Thankfully we got 0 views when we are taking a little break, when I was taking a little break, but whatever. So that's what's inside this chip. I do not really know how I can tear it apart fully, but it looks like it has just resin inside it. I think we should move on. Zoom out a bit. And let's do this transistor here. What does this transistor say on it? Okay, we at least have the flash. It is a 1302. Okay, from an old CFL, I believe. Let's cut it. So just zoom out a little so we can have a look at it a little better while it's being cut. Already got 8 views, so we dropped a lot. I had 14 for a moment, but in 3, 2, 1. Okay, this one also seems to have exploded, but ooh, interesting. It's off camera, but we have a lot more visible of this one. Interesting. I know for a fact these are dead, or I don't know how to use them or have any applications for them because they're so obscure and old and they don't have data sheets. But that's what's inside this. Okay, come on, focus please. Focus. That's why we're dropping views all the way down to 6 views right now. So that's what's inside it. This is some sort of metal part at the back, and the top is ooh, interesting. It's a different color. Let me go ahead and just zoom it in real quick. Stop, YouTube. Stop messing with me. Anyway, You can see this is like a brownish color at the top, and the bottom is actually just metallic. The top, brown. Come on, please, focus. And the bottom is metallic. Very interesting. That's the way that the transistor works. So, turn off the flashlight and let's move on to resistors. Some of these are actually going to be a lot harder to cut. This is a 150 something K resistor, as I measured it just before starting this live stream. And let's see what it is gonna do when we cut it. Okay, we dropped a lot. 4 views. I'm already cutting it now. Okay. Whoa, this one just exploded everywhere. At least I found a chunk of it here. Just see if I can hold it somehow so that you can see it. Alright, looks like there's not much to see in this particular resistor, except that the inside seems to be ceramic. Okay. Well, it's not really a ceramic resistor, but there doesn't seem to be any wire visible, because I know for a fact that there is a wire wrapped around the core, or sometimes it's just carbon that's carved out. But yeah, it really depends on the type of resistor, so I guess that's that. I think we should move on to some of the more difficult components, and I have some here in my container components. This capacitor, which is an X2 capacitor, it's been melted a few times with my soldering iron, and I decided I'm gonna destroy it because it looks ugly. So let's try, see if we can cut it. Okay, just align my side cutters here. I know for a fact that the part can go under them, and it will seem like it's gone into them, but it actually hasn't. Right now it does. So it's seated properly. Let me just take it off camera for a moment so I can grip the side cutter. So let's see if it's gonna cut. I don't think it will, because it's... Oh, ew! Ew, that's interesting. Actually, unexpectedly, it seems to be cutting. I can't really avoid sticking the parts in front of my camera like this too close and just make them out of focus, but oh boy, this capacitor is putting up a nightmare. Come on! Ooh, it snapped. Okay. So it looks like it is starting to come apart. Let's do it again here. Oh man. Wow, we got a lot more in this one than we do in the resistors and not the capacitors. And that's my computer mouse clicking as I'm tapping the buttons accidentally. Trying to get the other half. It's gone into a little crack, nook, whatever. But wow, that's actually really interesting. Capacitor insides. We got, I guess, this foil, which is obviously coiled. That's the insides of an X2 capacitor. I've seen film capacitors before, but never an X2 one, so that's interesting. Not sure what's the difference between a film, but we'll tear apart a film up next. This cap is really interesting on the inside. These are commonly used for motors, things like that. And this person seems to be just a thin layer of protection. Let me see if I can cut off this so we can have a look at the layers better. The outer case. Oh, I'm going to be very careful with this because I really want to get to see the design of this. There's something seems to be like smoke, or is it dust out of this capacitor that's like falling out? Ah, man. Got the lowest view count so far. 3. No one seems to be very interested, and a lot of the times live streams are just brain rot music, Italian brain rot music, and Minecraft or Roblox garbage. So this is at least something a bit more interesting, cutting electronic components. What do we have in here? Alright, that's just a very thin resin layer, which is protective, so I guess it makes the whole thing stay nice and sealed. Let's get all this crap out of the way here. I would have brought out a vacuum cleaner and vacuumed it up, but how in the world are you supposed to do it on a live stream? The next capacitor, as I already promised, it's going to be a film cap. I know these have names. That X2 capacitor probably also has a different name than just X2 capacitor, but this is a film cap. And there's also Mylar capacitor, so we will take apart a Mylar, or I guess at least cut it. Let's see what will happen to this one. Okay, we dropped the viewer. Oh, this one exploded like that. Holy cow. I like the resistor, which just exploded, and the other half is somewhere in my room, right? Let's see if this will cut. It's tough. It cut. Wow, it's the same thing. That's actually quite interesting. The capacitor actually cut really cool. Like, looks, this is very interesting. The capacitor seems to be the exact same thing. Let me see if I can cut out some of this plastic resin thing that it's got around it. Oh, seems to just snaps. This something 700 volts. I don't even remember the voltage rating of this cap. It's a big rated capacitor, and wow, that was 6 views gone in a second. This last viewer is gonna go in a second as well. But what do we have in here? Wow, looks like we have. See if I can pry on it. No one's liked so far, so I guess we're probably not gonna get any likes this video or stream because it's not really important. I've been on a fairly rough situation because school's been taking the entire channel over. Well, it got 4 views. Can any of you like, please? I'm not really begging, but if you like this video or stream, go ahead and like it. Maybe even leave a comment. Maybe it's one of you that I know and I've already subscribed to, like BeckoFan1400, but maybe not. Well, let's see if I can get this thing off here. A side piece. Oh, okay. That's the core of the capacitor. But since YouTube is quite bad for close-ups, let me just show you what we got. Okay. We got a lot inside here. We got all of these different layers that are wrapped around. Those are the actual capacitive layers that give the capacitor its capacitance, so that it capacitates, or whatever that's called. So, let's see if I can peel one of these off. Let's see if I can cut it, maybe. Maybe I can cut it. Okay. Alright. No, we can't cut it. It's quite well tightened, and I don't know where the starting point of this is, so we're not gonna do that. Well, I already made quite a big of a mess, so let me just clean this up real quick. You know what? I'm actually gonna bring out a vacuum cleaner because I feel like it's such a big mess. It needs a vacuum cleaner. Okay, good. I nearly caused a disaster, but I vacuumed it out, and you already saw the vacuum cleaner almost sucked up my piece of paper here that is acting as a filming sheet. Let me just move this out of the way. I don't want to cause more mess or anything, or bigger mess, so that's why I vacuumed. But anyway, shall we get to the good part? Let's try an electrolytic capacitor. This is a super capacitor, but we're not going to cut into a super capacitor. This is my only super capacitor. I decided that it'd be a good idea to cut into this really old vintage electrolytic capacitor. It doesn't look like a normal electrolytic capacitor, like a more modern one. Here's one, and we're got a view now. Great. Makes me feel like I'm about to stop and just leave, but whatever. So far, this only viewer has been holding on, so it might be one of you who I know. But whatever, this is a modern 10 volt 680 microfarad, and we'll cut this one open as well. And this is a old one. Maybe we'll not cut this 680 farad. I think we should try cutting a more common value like this one, 1000 microfarad, 16 volt. Well, let's go ahead and start by cutting up the old one, which I know for a fact the value probably doesn't, match what it used to have. This is probably 2200 microfarad. It's big too. Well, let's see if I can cut it. Ooh, it's like butter. Ooh, it's like butter. These are electrolytic, so they should have something liquid inside. This one seems to be just a can of metal. Damn, it's actually so soft. This one is the softest so far. All the 2 film capacitors actually snapped and exploded like that. But this one just seems to be cutting itself open. Nice. Damn, this is a bit of a tricky situation. Let's see if I can cut this open. Damn, it's quite difficult. Actually, really difficult. Now, that is interesting. Looks like we got some standard structure for a capacitor inside here. Ooh, that's interesting. Can I pull it open now? Oh, yes, I can. I can rip the thing open. Oh! That was me pulling my hand so hard that it smashed into some of my little boxes of electronic stuff. The components that you are seeing me cut right now come from these little boxes that store all the parts. And that was my hand slamming into them, making a really loud sound, so sorry for that. Look, all 4 views. Nice, thank you. So, what do we have inside here? Wow, this thing's pretty dried up. I can't see much electrolyte, but I can see a little bit on the sponge here. It's slightly wet if you can look at it. So maybe this capacitor would have still worked, but I've seen plenty times on YouTube before and other times on the internet. People are rescuing components from old devices or pulling them off the circuit boards, but never really using the capacitors because the electrolytic capacitors have worn out and don't really work anymore. So this is the inside. What about this thing here? Yeah, it looks like there's a disc. Can I pull this disc out, or is it not a disc? Is it the top half? I think it's the top half. No, no, no. There's probably no disc inside this lit capacitor from an old TV, I guess. It's from an old TV set. I was going to try getting the flyback out of there. Maybe do some high voltage experiments with it. But, you know, the flybacks of an old TV that have been sitting in, you know, in the weather conditions, not really going to be good anymore, are they? So let's see if I can cut this open and see what we got. I know the title of the stream is cutting the components, not actually disassembling them, but that's the same. So I guess the label comes off now. These things haven't been disassembled in like 40 years, so I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't have the correct value anymore. But what do we got in here? Does it just bend open? Come on. I want to lose my 10 viewers, please. Ooh, it's a plastic cap. Okay. It's just a plastic cap. I can't really smell electrolyte, so this is probably just dead. Let's try this half as well. This is the more interesting half. Like it's just a wrapped thing. I can already feel something liquid. Is this still wood? Has this still got any electrolyte in it? If it still worked, I would have been really happy. I actually have two, but I still don't trust them. I don't know the values because they're in a different coating than the modern ones have it, so if I can get this open. Ripped it open! One of the leads is from the top, the other one is from the bottom. Maybe we'll try blowing this one up before I disassembled it, but how do you disassemble a blown up capacitor? They think that just blow their guts out. Come on! Now, this seems like it wants to be cut open, but I cut it open. I was expecting it just to be this weird paper. No, 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 it's actually got similar insides to those film capacitors. Interesting. Okay, is this the same as going to be in the modern capacitor? I mean, not really a modern one, but a bit more new. I'm not sure if this acid or electrolyte is safe to put on your hands. I should have worn gloves, but whatever. I can't even smell anything, so this has probably got nothing in its end. It's just water or some other weird liquid. But anyway, it's time for the modern capacitor. A Chang's 1000 microfarad 16 volt capacitor. And 16, that means one viewer lost. Let's go ahead and cut this open. Let me see if I can do so. Come on, please. Please, I don't want to lose my viewers, okay? I just want to make sure that the capacitor doesn't slip. So for that, I give it the treatment it deserves, and I slice its bottom off. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. It still seems to have a little bottom. This is what it looks like inside. This is the cap for protecting it. And now let's go again. Here we go again. Someone actually left a comment. I guess he could be a top fan. That's the comment. Oh, it looks like it's leaking now. That's the electrolyte right there. Yeah. No, it's in a second comment. But still no likes. I don't know. Again, from Rawan Dahliwal. I'm not going to say the name, but look at the electrolyte leaking out of there. Very interesting. And my capacitor just sliced open. Okay. And first like. Thank you. So what do we got inside this Chang's capacitor? Do we have anything special to see? I mean, it's sliced in half pretty beautifully compared to some of the other parts. So I guess we might be able to have a look at the side of it. But since the case kind of crushed down. Okay, well, this is the fourth comment, okay. Damn, it's so annoying, but whatever. I don't want to injure myself right on a stream because I can't pause and redo the entire recording because that's what I normally do with my videos. Interesting. We got the same thing as the old cap. Wow. And our second like. Thank you very, very much. The stream seems to be doing great. Let's see if I can pull this out. Ugh. Okay, this time it doesn't seem to be the metallic inside. It just seems to be this wrapped piece of paper. Ooh, that's interesting. And these are our electrodes, which go into the capacitor. I think the electrolyte here is actually not something you want to touch. Oh, no, 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 no. No, it seems to be the same thing as the old cap. With paper, which I guess holds the actual electrode. the electrolyte, not the electrode. And these metal things that I'm pulling out right now, those are the actual electrodes. That's interesting. Can any of you leave more likes? Can any of you like, if you like, this stream? Whatever. I do make a lot of mistakes in my recordings, and that's why I start over, so that's just my normal way of making, live streams. Okay, someone else now, instead of Raman Dahliwal, has said hi. My number 2 top fan. This is the weird coating, whatever it is. I'm actually gonna have to wipe this door real quick. From time to time, you're gonna have to see me cleaning up because this is not really a dirty stream, is it? I'm throwing crap away. That's the sound you hear. Okay, someone by the name of Raman Daliwal said nice. Now we have Zusuolikta something saying hi and a bunch of hellos. Let's move on. So far I've turned apart mostly standard components. I lost a bunch of views. This one is a safety capacitor, Y1 I believe. It's for insulating, switching power supplies, and reducing interference. Let's cut it open and see what makes it safe. Is it gonna explode? No, it just shattered everywhere. Okay, that's interesting. This is the glass capacitor. There's this brown stuff inside it. So that's something interesting. It's my first time taking apart some of these parts. This glass capacitor is definitely a first for me. Very interesting indeed. Let me just see if I can cut it. So it looks like we got a lot going on in this. And Raman Dahliwal said, haha, that's the last comment I got. Come on. Oh, it's exploded. Okay. There seems to be the same brown substance throughout the entire capacitor. Yeah. Ooh, is there something inside this brown substance? Is there actually? Or these are just the electrodes? These might just be the electrodes. Okay, so I think that we know what's already going on in this capacitor. This is protective from another electrolytic capacitor. The guts of another electrolytic capacitor. Okay. Just throwing crap in the garbage. This is this weird brown substance. I think it's the actual part of the glass capacitor. The internals that have the capacitance and everything. I'm gonna have to go with the vacuum cleaner one more time, so mute the microphone. I did the vacuuming, and while vacuuming, I lost like half of my views because I'm now at only 3, but we got more comments. So Zusolikta, my number 1 fan now, says that I love small content creators, or more specifically, I love small content creators or content. They're good. Raman Dahliwal is just responding. Anyway, time for another capacitor. This time it's a mysterious capacitor because I've never seen this kind of capacitor before. But I believe it is a film capacitor. Obviously, we'll get to the more special parts like, transistors, because we haven't done those so far. We should do those and maybe try tearing down a transformer. Oh man, this one sounds interesting. Or doesn't it? It's tough. This is hell tough. I can already made a mark on it. Damn it. Ah. Doesn't seem like it would want to tear apart. Oh my god, can any of you like, please? I got like 11 views, so it seems like the views are like spiking and dropping. Come on, I don't want to drop my camera. Oh, this one's tough. This one's really tough. It's putting up a major fight. I only made 2 stupid marks in it and it's still together. Should get a hydraulic press and try cutting them with that. But I don't have a hydraulic press. That'll make the entire stream a whole lot different. And that'll also make my entire views count a whole lot different. If any of you can please like, I'd appreciate it. Like, You 5 viewers right now, I'm trying to get this capacitor open. I might actually just throw it away. I can't use these as they're cut because they're not safe and they're not gonna have the correct capacitance. It's such a nightmare to cut into. Why? You can see the marks of me trying to cut into it. What? Oh my god. That sucks. That actually really sucks. I had a plate on my table and I just knocked it over and it shattered. I'm gonna have to vacuum after this stream a lot. Like, this is the problems of streaming. Any mistakes? Damn it. Only 3 viewers. This capacitor is refusing, so I guess it's gonna be the same as the X2 capacitors. And my plate fell on the ground. Let me collect it real quick. Okay, I collected up most of the trash, but I'll still have to go with the vacuum over it. I'll do that at the end. So, you can hear some sounds in the background. Those are just me moving the trash can and all the stuff. And Rahman Dahliwal now says, I'm somewhat learning a bit from this stream. Well, yes, sure you are. Let's do something a little bit more special than just capacitors over and over. What about this guy, which is, what is it? It's a negative voltage regulator. Not going to cut into that. I'm going to cut into something a little more common. It's a rarer part that. This transistor, which I think is burned out, it's a BD138. Yeah, I'm going to cut this one because it's not really the common part. And I actually think I burned this one out when I was messing around with my plasma ball. Because I was just upgrading it and trying to do different kinds of combinations with transistors and resistors and things to drive the flyback. And I think I burned this one out. BD138K, no more. Wow, this one actually exploded beautifully. And it seems like we got a lot more than just what I would have expected. This is what makes your plasma ball work. It's a power transistor. Let's cut it open even further. Let's really get to the actual die. I actually really want to see it. And I actually really want to see my views count increase. Not decrease, for goddamn sake. I don't want to see my plates fall on the ground and break midstream. Sorry for that. Makes the entire thing way more funny. And Rahman Dahli, well, I keep on saying Rahman. It's now putting a clapping emoji. Definitely gonna have to vacuum this one up. So that's gonna be the 4th or 5th time I vacuum this place. I should have just kept it really dirty. Damn it. Come on. Okay, it's fallen into bits now. One of the leads is broken off of it. Can we see anything? No, it's just the connections going to the transistor. Oh, I think we can see the die. This is probably the actual thing. But unfortunately, this one's not that special. I think it's not a good time that we actually go in with the vacuum and vacuum this place up again. This is the 5th time, maybe. Sorry for the very long break. I actually had to vacuum on the floor. Remember how I told you, like midstream, my plate fell and it shattered? I had to vacuum because I don't want to step in all the cracks. And yes, I know Rahman Dahliwal, my views count decreased. I'm not only aiming for views here, but now it's time to cut in a few more glass capacitors. Because I already cut into that BD138. I just decided that I would cut into some of these. This one's a high voltage glass capacitor. And this one's just a normal high voltage glass capacitor for CFL and stuff like that. CCFL bulbs. Called cathode fluorescent. Let's cut it. These are commonly used as X2 capacitor replacements. This is an X2, and they're used as replacements because they're cheaper and they don't really care about safety as much. So let's cut the capacitor. Nice, it seems to just cut perfectly. And yeah, it's the same glass material as the X2 cap. There seems to be no difference. Maybe the shape of the electrodes or the material type is different, but there's no color difference or anything. So there's nothing special. That's not really what makes a stream fancy or attract views. Even though this is the most boring, maybe not. Oh man, this one really exploded, and oh wow, I already got something a bit more special. And it's so clearly visible. It's not actually brown. This is actually a very big surprise for me. This is actually a first for me. It is a whitish color, not a brown anymore. Very, very cool. I found something a bit more special. I think this is for like supporting extra high voltages, because otherwise I can't really think of anything that this would be. So, time to move on. That's the component going in the garbage. Should we cut this big TDA? What is it? 2005 TDA 2005 audio amplifier? Let's go ahead and do that. These are the remains of the other capacitor we cut. And a bit it goes. Let's do that. I think this one's dead too. A lot of these parts are dead. Well, I actually want to see what's inside this one. It's a very interesting package too. Let's see. Oh man, it's already cracked, but it's still not exploded spectacularly and hit me in the eye or my camera. It's putting up a fight, damn it. It's really putting up a fight. Maybe this one's not gonna crack. Oh, try cutting off the pins. It's got a crack on it. Maybe the back, yeah, the back is metallic, so that explains why it's not really cutting, because it can't cut metal. Need an angle grinder. That hit the window, and I think you heard it. Wow, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to cut these pins off, because we don't really need them, do we? Pins coming off. Oh! Seems like whenever I vacuum the place, people just come and start spamming random comments. Okay, let's see if I can get this even further apart. Nice! Wow, actually a lot more inside this than I would have expected, and it lost a whole lot of weight. This seems to be nothing more than just the top half, but wait a minute. It's supposed to have bond wires. It doesn't have them. I think the bond wires are in the top here, and they're bonded to this, which is the actual amplifier bit that does the amplification. I'm gonna try seeing if this single leg here, which just came off, is connected to the outer metal. I think that's a ground. I'm gonna use my multimeter to prove that. So let's go ahead and try and see if there's any continuity. There is. That's the multimeter beeping. That's me turning it off. And that's maybe it falling on the floor. Wow, this seems to be not really something that interesting. It's just the insides of the amplifier. Whatever this stuff is, it either is copper. This is actually the metal shield, and it connects to this, which is the ground, I believe. And it connects to this pin, which is the middle. I think that's the ground. And this silvery thing is the chip itself. That's the amplification bit, and that does all the magic amplification. Very, very interesting. I actually disassembled an old AMD processor from a computer, and it had the exact same silver component, which is the actual chip. You can't really see much unless you were to use a microphone. Not a microphone. What the hell was I thinking? A microscope. They're very similar. But so far we haven't cut into a ceramic capacitor. And we so far haven't cut into one of these special audio capacitors. And these are going to be the last few capacitors we're going to cut into. Oh, and also a mylar capacitor. I said that at the beginning, and we haven't cut in like 40 minutes. And here's one from an old fluorescent starter. Which one shall we start with? Can one of you say which one should I want to cut down in the comments below? I'll wait for you. Maybe even like if you want to. Can any of you say? Maybe not. Maybe just lose views instead. Well, that's one of the many cons of live streams instead of just shorts. But I guess we're just gonna start with the starter capacitor, because I'd been actually really surprised if somebody would have said which capacitor I should have cut. But whatever. Let's just go ahead and cut this one. It's actually quite big and tough. Oh, this one's cracked beautifully. I can hear it. Damn it, it's so tough. Why are these so tough? For some reason, they don't want to cut. Seems like my most common number so far was just 5. Damn it. It's such a noisy process. My plate broke. This capacitor is not gonna break. The hell is happening? Like, the capacitors are trying to take revenge and break my other stuff instead of themselves. Must be this one is gonna break something else about this time. Oh, I really hope that's not gonna happen. I really hope I'm not gonna slam something around and this seems to be a lot of work. What? Oh, it's cutting. We might actually have a look inside this one. I can feel it advancing. I can feel my side cutters are advancing their way into the capacitor. Please, oh! I mean, it flew, but we got into it. We got damn into this capacitor. It seems to be roughly the same thing as the other one, except it just has a really fancy shell. So yeah, it seems to be similar to an X2 cap, but since I don't have the tools, it's not really obvious at first glance. Let's try this tiny audio cap. I've actually tried cutting this off camera, and it proved to be an absolute nightmare. Maybe it will cut this time. Please, please, please. Oh! It exploded. But what have got inside it? It's literally the same thing. It's this stupid coil of wire acting as the capacitor. Capacitating. The hell is going on? I expect the mylar cap to be the same exact same thing. I said same way too many times. I'm gonna do a top view this time and hopefully... No, it didn't shoot. But it made the entire stream more interesting. But what have we got inside? Ooh. This one seems to have taken a bit of discoloration from heat, but the inside is actually a lot greener than the outside. Very interesting. My phone is really hot. Yeah, I'm recording this on a phone, but it's decent quality enough. I called it a camera so far. See if I can pull. Wow, the sidewall's coming off so nicely. They're so easy to remove. Seems to be exactly the same structure. But maybe, just maybe, a ceramic capacitor won't be as big of a disappointment as the mylar cap or some of the other ones were. Let's try cutting into this one. Might actually have to end the stream here because I'm already not in a very good state. My phone is overheating. Well, whatever. I could turn on a fan, but, you know, let's not do that. That's what's inside the ceramic capacitor. Very interesting, but I'm gonna have to end the stream here maybe because, unfortunately, I made a mess and I have to clean it up. I feel really bad for the situation. I would have loved to take some more parts, like a switch, maybe, but my device is overheating and I'm not really in a good state right now and I don't want to cause trouble and accidentally end my stream. So, sorry for all of you top fans, but I know my views are going down and you can all go watch your Tung Sahur because the modern computers. Okay, we're back. We're back. My phone managed to cool down. Unfortunately, I will have to end the stream here because I'm not sure how reliable this is gonna be. So, goodbye to all, and I will see you in the next stream or maybe in the next short or video, and that's it for today. I'm really sorry that it managed to go this bad very much near the end, and I will see you in the next stream.